and moved all the way down to the south in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when my parents broke the news to me at 7 years old that I was going to have to leave all my friends, all my family, my church home, and my entire life, the question I asked in tears to my dad was, why? Why are we doing this? And he so perfectly said, because we were called to do this. This was our mission. This was our destiny, to move halfway across the country to what we thought was a foreign land, to plant a church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, all because of one man's and one God's commands. And I feel like that beginning story and that example of my life perfectly sums up the topic that I was given today, because I said so. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this phrase means, because I said so. And we're going to see why it's important to not only listen when someone says something, but listen who is saying it. By first of all taking a look at the concept of I said so, the action it takes to follow, and then finally, the courage. So first of all, the concept. Whenever you hear someone say, because I said so, it usually means they're in a position of authority. For example, the most I have ever heard this is from my mother. Why do I have to clean my room? Why do I have to take out the trash? She never felt like giving me any other reason but because I said so. So when someone feels like they have the power to tell you because I said so, it means that they are in a position of authority, which means you should probably listen. The phrase is because I said so, or the action of people making things happen because of words they said have completely changed not only our lives, but our nation and the entire world. Because our nation has been improved and our nation has been harmed because of words that have been said. You see politicians standing up in front of large crowds of people saying things, and actions result because of those sayings. Lives are changed when powerful people speak, which means we should probably listen. So that's the second point, the action. Whenever someone says something so powerful that their only reasoning for saying it would be because I say so, it probably means that you should listen. But that's pretty hard to do sometimes. For example, as I was approaching my junior year in high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I loved creating businesses, I knew I loved people, and I knew that one day I wanted to be on the cover of Forbes magazine. But that's all I knew about my future. And so as I was preparing to look for the right colleges, preparing to look for the right major, God very clearly told me, you are not supposed to go to college. And that totally turned my entire world around. I have been looking forward to going to college since middle school. I started touring colleges in sophomore year. And it was crazy when all of a sudden I felt like that was not my destiny. In fact, just 3 weeks ago, I broke down in the car in tears because I was so terrified of not going to college. So terrified that God was calling me to do something else, that God was calling me to touch people in a different way. But he said so. When someone as powerful as our holy God says something, we should respond, no matter how crazy and no matter how insane it may seem. But that leads us to our third point, the courage to do something insane. Now, what most of you probably don't know is that the beginning of our story was just the beginning of the Lovett's lives. We moved down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, started a church, and 10 years later, our entire lives were turned upside down. Our church closed our doors because we had no more funding. My brother walked away from his relationship with my family and from Christ, and my dad's business went under all in the same month. But God said that this was our ministry, and God said that this is what we were supposed to be doing. So no matter what the odds are against you, no matter how many people think you're going to work at Walmart for the rest of your life because you're not going to college, don't listen to them. Because when a powerful being says something, we listen, and then we are blessed. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being